your brain on air. The program will begin shortly. Enjoy.
Du lytter til hjernen din på lufta. Programmet starter snart. Kos deg.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Brain on Air. I am your host, Ollie Vogt Larson. And have a drink, clink, found the Bud Light. Bad bitches like me is hard to come by, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Christmas Eve special. Merry Christmas, everybody! Merry Christmas. I can't play anything because literally every single Christmas song is copyrighted, so there's no chance that my channel would be able to avoid anything like that, so I'm literally not even going to bother. Maybe I'll hum something for you guys later, I don't know, maybe if we find the time for it, but, in the meantime, I'm sure you have you're gonna be hearing plenty of music, I promise you. December 23rd is kind of the last relaxation day before you head into the fire, you know what I mean? December 24th and 25th, you're gonna be traveling, you might be going to see family, you might be doing a bunch of shit. Your last day of relaxation was yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. As did I. I had a pretty good time. I hope that you did. I hope that you have an even more wonderful Christmas Eve, you know what I mean? Listen, I'm just going to be real with you. As a secular individual, I'm you turn Christian around this time of year no matter what denomination you are. If you could be radical, you could be walking around like with a bomb strapped to your chest Muslim, and if you see them light the Christmas tree at the center of town, you will get rosy cheeks. It's going to be just like, I'm sorry, it's unavoidable. Folks, the reason that I opened with a reference to Nicki Minaj, as some of you astute people might have been able to catch, the Patron own, let's go get it on, the Zone own, yes, I'm in the zone. Is it 2, 3, leave a good tip, I'ma blow all my money and don't give two shits. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to reference the queen herself. Listen, I say queen in a referential way that is not serious. I don't believe her to be a queen. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that. Let's be real here. This is a situation where I can still watch Annie Hall. I don't exactly have to love Woody Allen. You know what I mean? I can still listen to Starships. I can still listen to Anaconda. I don't have to love Nicki Minaj. Granted, I don't know why everybody's jumping on her now when they weren't jumping on her when she was defending her pedophilic brother, but whatever, who cares, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to talk about that, but you know what I mean? It's just, I wanted to talk about Nicki Minaj, because, same, a lot of people probably haven't heard of her. She was kind of this big name in the 2010s, a bit of a Cyndi Lauper, kind of, for the 80s, you know what I mean? Just kind of a symbol of the era. Well, Nicki Minaj, in order to make a bid for, I'm going to be real, I think it's a bid for relevance. She made a surprise appearance at a Turning Point USA's conference, their first one, I think, without their founder, Charlie Kirk. Isn't this kind of nuts? On December 21st, if you didn't already know, rapper Nicki Minaj, she made a surprise at their thing called America Fest, their conference in Phoenix, Arizona. It's their first major event ever since the assassination of the co-founder Charlie Kirk earlier this year. And we are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. She joined TPUSA's new CEO, Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, for an onstage Q&A session. It was bizarre, to say the least. I'm so sorry. These women cannot behave normally. I don't know what it is about MAGA women in general. There's a very strange element of, store mannequinism. I don't know how else to put it. She joined hand to hand to her song Super Bass. It's the hit boom boom Super Bass, whatever. They had a bunch of sparklers. They got a bunch of thunderous applause. The conservative youth crowd, they were going mad for Minaj. Even though, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Nicki Minaj, she's not exactly a model for young women. You know what I mean? She's not exactly someone I would want my daughter to look up to. Well, she discussed her evolving political views, she discussed her faith, her admiration for the Trump administration. It was a bold, moment. I think she's really aligning herself with conservative causes and whatnot. She was more varied, she was more, in the middle on a lot of political stances, but eventually I think right now she's just going ahead and saying, hey, this is where the tide is going, you know what I mean? This is just where we gotta go if we want to make the money. I'm sorry, that's just how it goes. During the conversation, Minaj lavished praise on President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, calling them handsome, dashing, and strong role models for young men, while declaring the administration is full of heart and soul. She mocked California Governor Gavin Newsom, nicknaming him New Scum. She didn't come up with it. That's something she grabbed. And I'm going to be real with you. It's not even that original. You listen to that one podcast and Newsom says, like, bullies were calling him that in third grade. And it's like, yeah, it's not necessarily that original. Some scum. It's not that hard. Over his positions on transgender youth healthcare, reading her own critical tweets aloud and adding improvised jabs. She also tied her appearance to her recent advocacy for persecuted Christians in Nigeria, as everybody's heard of recently, emphasizing that it's okay to change your mind, dismissing industry backlash by saying, "I didn't notice," and an awkward moment arose when she referred to Vance as as an assassin in praise, quickly backtracking given the violent death of Charlie Kirk, though Erica Kirk smoothed it over. It was really, really, really uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Here, we're just gonna play it for you right now. It's really, really uneasy. Let's just play. No, wait, hold on. I'm going to turn it all the way up so you can hear it. There we go.
You have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that...
I mean, rough. We're watching an Access Hollywood clip. I'm just not even going to lie to you. I mean, if that didn't set the tone for you, reactions, to say the least, to Minaj's appearance, they've been pretty sharply mixed. There's a lot of conservative voices that are celebrating it as a coup, with attendees online and supporters hailing her courage for speaking out in a hostile entertainment industry and declaring conservative voices as the cool kids. Many praised her for bridging pop culture with MAGA views, noting her massive influence, over 200 million Instagram followers, could broaden the movement's appeal, especially among younger and diverse audiences. TPUSA highlighted clips widely and figures like J.D. Vance echoed her sentiments positively. I mean, on the other side, though, we got to talk about the blowback that's been emerging from fans, liberals, other people in the music industry. They're accusing her of transphobia due to her comments on gender issues. I mean, I kind of agreed a little bit on it with her. You know what I mean? To a degree, we shouldn't be transitioning children at a youth. I'm not in favor of that at all. I think I'm in favor of, like, the restrictions that we've been putting on it. I'm sorry, RFK's latest move where he said, nope, I'm sorry, we're not doing transition surgery for children, for them to transition to an opposite sex. I went, okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Keep the breast tissue removals for boys if they have the breast tissue disorder, but that is in support of the gender they were born in. It's not a complete decrying opposition of nature or whatever. Detractors are also calling the move disappointing on her or career damaging. Some speculating it was motivated by personal gains. I mean, pardons for her family members' legal issues. I'm guessing so. You'll see that her brother will be out in a minute. Payment, maybe. Substantial claims not substantial. Unsubstantiated claims, but amplified online are saying that there's rumors of her deactivating her Instagram and losing millions of followers circulating, though evidence showed only temporary inactivity and minor dips. Longtime critics resurfaced old controversies about her personal life, while others laminated her platforming at an event tied to MAGA figures. I mean, guys, let's just play the rest of this clip. I mean,
appearance on the final day of Turning Point USA's annual convention, America Fest, taking the stage with the organization's CEO.
What an uncreative name, America Fest. Come on.
Erica Kirk. On Sunday, December 21st,
How about Kirk Fest?
The rapper walked hand in hand with Charlie Kirk's widow before the pair sat down for a conversation. At one point, Minaj referred to President Trump as dashing and handsome as she took a swipe at California Governor Gavin Newsom, with whom she has been recently feuding online.
For young men, don't be new scum. Yes. They're young men. You have...
I'm so sorry. The winking, the over moving of her face. Nicki Minaj always, to me, communicated someone of very low IQ, brain functioning, just kind of like, I don't think she thinks deep thoughts, I'm sorry to say it.
Young men, don't be new scum.
This woman does not come to me as somebody, she does not appear to me to be somebody that is like a fully formed moral compass. I have a pathology. I have like a moral way that I live life. I have a philosophy that I've developed through years of experience. I don't feel that from her when she speaks at all.
Yes. See, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
Why is it so awkward? It's so uncomfortable.
She went on to list Vice President J.D. Vance as another amazing role model, referring to him as an assassin, before appearing to quickly realize the term she used in front of Kirk's widow. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th at Utah Valley University, marking this year's conference as the first since his death.
And you have amazing role models like the...
Man, you have amazing role models. Like, Jesus Christ, this is peak MAGA. You say that they put up those bimbo women that just kind of, they're airheaded, they read teleprompters. Her eyes are so wide, you can tell that there is no... She gives you the look that your dog gives you, where you can tell that there's no grand... She has no grand vision in her mind. She has no plans for the future. She's just kind of floating wherever the money goes.
Assassin
J.D. Vance.
our vice president.
Our vice
And when
president.
I say that, trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
Yes, we did. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. And I will not judge that. Sister. Thank you.
What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening there? That is so uncomfortable. It's so fucking weird. I'm sorry. I know that this woman's a widow. I know that like Nicki Minaj is retarded. I know that she might have Down syndrome. No, that's Ice Spice. But like, I know that they have real problems, but it's just fucking, it's ridiculous.
After Erica's reassurance over the slip-up, the rapper finished her thoughts on the topic, declaring, boys will be boys.
For boys.
Are you crying? She just wiped a tear. Are you fucking kidding me? You were crying. You called the fucking vice president an assassin in front of the widow of the man of the fucking guy who just got assassinated earlier this year. I don't know why are you crying?
For boys, be boys. Amen. Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy. How about that? Amen. How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Not at all.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that.
This is like 80, it's 60 IQ. This is like, oh my god, this is a 4-year-old. This is a six-year-old talking to their like aunt at Christmas. This is you're gonna see get-togethers like this at Christmas where your MAGA aunt is trying to influence your new, I don't know, maybe like the black guy that your cousin married has a daughter from a previous marriage or something, and then your MAGA aunt is like, oh, a chance to influence the young black generation. Now I don't have to follow them at CVS. I can just talk to them, and then she goes ahead and she tries to influence her. And then eventually, by the time that the 6-year-old is leaving, she's spouting to her daddy, Daddy, fucking build the wall, or why did the assassin's house like have no fucking silverware in it, or who is Candace Owens? And then the dad's like, what did you do? Like, what did you do to my daughter?
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Other public figures who made appearances at AmFest included Vice President Vance, Donald Trump Jr., Russell Brand, and a handful of conservative media commentators and politicians. While President Trump did not attend, he did phone in during his son's speech.
He didn't even attend. He phoned in. I love it. He phoned it in. He literally phoned it in. I mean, what else is there to say about it? They're just kind of... Turning Point USA, man. It was splashy as fuck. It was a great finale. The conference, it was already buzzing with a lot of high-profile speakers, as you already have heard. I think that they're attracting mainstream entertainers. Internal mega dynamics are shifting with, like, new mainstream figures. I think it might expand outreach, or it might alienate a lot of people. I don't know. That's my guess here, because people might start to actually... I think as people's frontal lobes are developing, a lot of her fan base is getting older, into their 30s, 40s. They're realizing, she was really good to listen to when I was getting high in college back in the 20s, and back in the 2000s, you know what I mean? She was really good to listen to back in the 2000s when I was 18, but I don't know. Nowadays she just kind of seems full of herself. She seems really not like she's, doing too hot. She seems like she's just kind of aligning herself with whoever's willing to give her a bag. I don't know how I feel about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you should feel about that either, because, there's cultural battles in the Trump era. And ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing else to do except for, jump in my hoopty-hoop. I own that. And I ain't paying my rent this month. I owe that. But fuck who you want and fuck who you like. That's our life. There's no end in sight. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Now, everybody, let me hear you say Ray, Ray, Ray. Now, spend all your money because today's payday. And if you would G, you would G, G, G. My name is Onika. You can call me Nicki. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to jump into our second story because it's relevant to the not just politics. Listen, politics, whatever. This is about pop culture. This is about our lives, our greater. I'm sounding like a seal. Our greater culture about to shift. We are about to experience a new media change. I think that this moment will be for streaming. What Game of Thrones was for television back in 2019, it kind of signaled the end of like appointment television, signaled the end of a lot of that. I think it's going to be what Endgame was for movies. I think it's going to be kind of this final event where it's like, oh yeah, big final franchise movie, and now really, I don't think you can sell names. I don't think you can sell movies with just the names anymore, with the movie stars. I don't think you can sell it based on IP. It has to be like interesting, a cultural moment to pull people in, like the Minecraft movie or whatever. You know what? It has to be something interesting in order to break the mold. I think that this kind of gold rush era that Game of Thrones it was for TV, where it signaled it. If you remember TV from this era, from I can't remember what it was, The Sopranos to the end of Game of Thrones, it was like this really solid run of okay, Breaking Bad, we got Better Call Saul, we got quite a few good television shows that are just whatever throughout this spread in time, and then eventually Endgame, when it comes to the superhero genre, it just absolutely signaled this drop-off in interest, in climb, in growth for Disney, all of these people. Anything like that. The comic book genre is essentially, it's dying or dead. Not even James Gunn is able to revive it, because even Superman, when you looked at it, was kind of a mid-tier performance on a box office level, excuse me. So I think this moment that we are about to look at, ladies and gentlemen, it will be an endgame moment for streaming television. Ladies and gentlemen, Stranger Things Season 5 is about to drop their final, I think it's 4 episodes, yes. And I think it is the death of a large, profitable streaming project. You know what I mean? The death of this is a big intellectual property for them. I don't think that there is going to be another Stranger Things for a long, 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 long time. And if you see projects that break into the mainstream, if you see projects that are like, oh, maybe they're water cooler talk for maybe a week, then they end disappointingly, like Peacemaker Season 2, that's all I'm saying, is that TV's not going to be great. It's not going to be it's not going to be 10 out of 10, except for the occasional Penguin. You know what I mean? The Penguin on HBO Max. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is 10 out of 10. It's one of those rare examples, and it mostly rips from things like The Sopranos and other sources of media. Like, you can't even give it 100% originality, you know what I mean? But it's still probably the best television show that HBO has had in years. I'm not even gonna lie, it's fantastic. But that's completely separate from the idea that, like, I think that this will be a shifting moment for television shows, for streaming shows and whatnot. You're gonna start to see all of these intellectual properties get way less attention. I don't think K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be that successful when all its fans are, I don't know, teenagers by the time the next movie comes out in 2029. I'm sorry, I don't think that that's how you keep people interested. Netflix has this crazy-ass plan where they're going to expect fourth graders to still be into their movie about K-pop Demon Hunters when they're eighth graders when it releases in 2029 versus when the first movie came out in 2025. It's ridiculous. That's not how you do it. You gotta keep these people stimulated, otherwise they will lose interest and they will grow out of your brand. That's just how it works. I'm sorry to say it. Stranger Things Season 5, ladies and gentlemen, it's rolled out a very unique 3-part release strategy. It's turned the holiday strategy into a prolonged kind of event for its fans. Volume 1, it consisted of the first 4 episodes. It dropped November 26th, just before Thanksgiving. Kind of set the stage for the final battle against Vecna in Hawkins under the military quarantine. The upcoming Volume 2, episodes 5 through 7, titled Shock Jock, Escape from Kamazotz and The Bridge, arrive on December 25th, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day in the UK, if you're gay about it. It's promising to intensify the action. It's going to have emotional highs. The series, it's going to conclude with a supersized finale, episode 8, The Right Side Up, on December 31st, New Year's Eve, even with a screening in select theaters for a communal experience, which I don't, if you really feel like going to the movies on New Year's Eve, that's up to you. With runtimes escalating to movie-length proportions, including 2-hour plus closer. Man, that's nutty. I don't know that I could ever. I'm going to be honest with you. The cast is going out, they're promoting it and everything. Listen, if you were not conscious, and I know that a lot of people weren't, because admittedly, it's hard to say this, 2014 was, it was already 11 years ago, so it's reasonable to say that there's a chunk of the population that was not alive back, or conscious, or even aware, because there were some people that were like 3 or 4 years old, but they probably don't even remember when this show came out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't grow up like in a pre-Stranger Things world, it's really hard to explain to you the cultural relevance, the influence that this show had on Gen X. Gen X would see this show and they would tear up. They would get so emotional because nothing to them had recreated the experience of living in the 80s so accurately. They would be teary-eyed. It was a wonderful experience for all of them. You know what I mean? Even if they grew up in the 90s or whatever, it still was just reminiscent enough to make them feel at home and cozy, because all of the boomers in the show, you know what I mean? The dads, the moms, the adults in the show, they all remind them of their parents because they're all smoking inside. They all wear glasses. They all watch the TV and ignore their kids. They all have like a dad who wears glasses, who's losing his hair, who watches the game on the TV, who like wears a bomber jacket or something, and then the mom who has like a frilly hairstyle and like wears blouses and like gets hit on by the younger man in the show because she's like hotter for her age. It reminds Gen X so much of that time that is so sacred to them. And admittedly, that is how you sell a show to a generation. And it worked. It wasn't, you didn't have to be Gen X to appreciate it because 80s nostalgia is so inherently appealing. the reminiscence, the the Rubik's cubes, everything about it just makes people for some reason feel cozy. It's it is gonna be in a weird way how the 50s were looked back on in the 1990s and in the early 2000s and whatnot. It's like oh, weirdly enough, we have people who were alive back then who are just entering their 40s and 50s and whatnot. So it's like that's the entertainment that's being made right now, reminiscent of the 1950s and 60s. It's very cool to look back on. You know what I mean? Public reactions, by the way, have been I'm just gonna say, public reactions to this season have been relatively positive so far. They were explosively positive back in 2014. I remember my parents showed it to me just because it was recommendation. That's back in the day when you would get it via like people at work or maybe your brother, your sister, your parents, anybody, everybody. You would get it recommended to anyone. This is back when people used to talk about television that was interesting, and now people just talk about politics and weather. Then that's why everybody's sad. It's because we don't have anything good on television to talk about. That's exactly why. It's very unfortunate. But essentially, what we had in 2014 was an explosion of popularity. Next, you had season 2, which kind of blew up. It was crazy. 2019, 2018, pre-COVID, that era, right? That was really when season 3 came out. It is so hard to explain to you how much that era means to a lot of Gen Z. It is deeply it is a aesthetic time that a lot of them like to look back on right before COVID. It's something that you see the most edits of on TikTok. It's a ridiculous, for some reason, season 3, that kind of really emblazoned with the mall aesthetic, it just calls to a lot of people. So that season, it blew up. It was a banger. It was huge. And it was all centered around the 4th of July, it was really good. Just blowout summer. 2019 is a great one to look back on. Then you have what's it called? Season 4, which released post-COVID. So it had this odd, kind of a dirtier tone. I'm not even going to lie to you. It had just this weird, odd sensation of just things are gruffer, things are grungier, and a little bit more uncomfortable. But that's whatever it was interesting. It was good storytelling to warrant a 5th season. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Many viewers are praising its fast-paced storytelling, its high production values, its nostalgic return to the show's kind of roots, blending with the epic scale, because, guys, it's huge this season. Fans, they're calling it, they're calling it fun, they're calling it badass, they're calling it, they're also saying that there's standout performances and emotional moments. While critics note it has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, which Rotten Tomatoes is generally not a perfect thing to go by, but sometimes it's a number. It's like the GDP of a country. You can't judge the entire economy of a country based on its GDP. You know what I mean? But it's an indicator of something. So 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, its score for delivering captivating genre fare that solidifies its pop culture status. The Duffer Brothers' direction, including surprising returns and heightened stakes, has drawn acclaim for the swinging big finale, evoking joy and tears in an equal measure. Fun. That said, not all the feedback has been glowing, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the blowback has emerged around dialogue feeling rushed or expository, character development seeming uneven, and the sense that the writing is prioritizing spectacle over subtlety compared to earlier seasons. In a weird way, I kind of have to agree because, it's hard to compare because you have to acknowledge you're so much further into the television show. You're so much farther into your season 5 compared to season 1. If you want this small scale Stephen King story reminiscent adventure where things just feel so much tinier in a weird way, but also just comfier, go back and rewatch season 1. That's there. It's available to you, but when you want subtlety, when you want those sorts of things, you can't be going to the finale of a show. You know what I mean? It's a little silly to expect. A portion of the viewers are also expressing disappointment in certain acting choices or tonal shifts, with complaints about excessive swearing or aged cast straining believability in teen roles. I mean, a little bit, but they're all my age, you know what I mean? It's really hard. It's really hard to make people that are my age believable as teenagers. They are make-upping them up, I will say, but it's subtle enough with the CGI and stuff where you can't really see. Criticisms are also echoing debates from prior seasons, but feel amplified as expectations are for a perfect send-off for the, it's a high run. They spent a lot of fucking money, you know what I mean? They need to go out on a big blow, you know what I mean? That's why the advertising's been so fucking ridiculous for this movie. Did you see the Gatorade advertisement that they tried to slip in? God, that was annoying. I will say, on the matter of acting choices, Maya Hawke, is it Maya Hawke or hold on. The lesbo on the show. I don't think she's actually lesbian. I don't know. Okay. Maya, yes, this is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. Yes. She was born July 8th, 1998. She has the same birthday as me. That's crazy. Okay, Maya Hawke. I'm sorry to say this, as you do have my same birthday. It's pretty cool to see that. You, unfortunately, in this season, you were great in Season 3. You were in Season 4. You're really making some odd choices in Season 5. I don't get the kind of nervousness that they've turned you into, the kind of nervous wreck. I don't love all of the choices they've made around your character. I'm not even going to lie to you. There's flashes of nepotism that are coming, and I don't want to say that. There's flashes of nepotism that are coming through in your performance where I'm going like, is she really that good? Is she really worthy of the money? And like, let me be honest with you. When she was in Season 3, I thought she was really good because she was actually competent. She was a little more confident than they played her to be in these later seasons. She's the only character that I think I have major issues with, Maya Hawke, but that's it. I mean, the season's massive budget. It's reportedly exceeding Avengers Endgame. 356 to 400 million. Man, Netflix is investing in making this like a blockbuster event, man. Let's go ahead and let's see this. The CBS News, man. Stranger Things.
Whole time, everything we have ever assumed about the Upside Down has been dead wrong.
Stranger Things fans are feeling upside down, waiting for the conclusion of the show's 5th and final season.
This is not over. Not by a long shot.
Cast members hit the red carpet at the Paley Museum in New York City, teasing the last few episodes.
Electrifying, adventurous, connective, and zenith.
I will say that there have been questions asked that will have an answer to them.
Matt and Ross Duffer weighed in on whether anyone online has already predicted how the series will end.
Luckily, no. No. I don't know if there's been anything adjacent, possibly, but no one's nailed it that I've seen.
Season 5 Volume 1 debuted with over 59 million views in the first 5 days, making it the most watched premiere week for an English language show ever on Netflix.
I mean, now we've taken so long that someone that was not born on Season 1 can now watch the show as Season 5 come out, but it's exciting just to see, a new younger audience embrace it as well.
It is time.
The writers and cast credit fans for keeping the mysteries of Hawkins, Indiana going for nearly a decade.
My message to them is, thank you, you've changed my life. Keep watching and rewatching the stuff you love.
Just thank you, really, because it's that support that's allowed us in this cast to tell the story from beginning to end, and not just that, but beginning to end in the way that we all felt was the right way to do it.
And fans will finally learn how Stranger Things ends when the series finale drops on Netflix New Year's Eve. Julianne Ferreira, CBS News, New York.
Guys, you're going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. We'll be there for it. I mean, I hope. It's interesting, man. I hope this isn't the end of streaming television. I really hope it isn't. I mean, I hope that shows like Severance continue to find an audience. I hope that the way that the cast is talking about it, I hope that it's not a Game of Thrones situation where they were all on the red carpet getting asked and they were like, yeah, the ending's perfect. And then there was a big lie. So let's hope it's not that, guys. Let's really, really hope it's not that. Because then, who knows? It may not be the end of television. But if they don't pull this off, who knows, ladies and gentlemen? It could be the end. It could be the end. It could be the end for major Netflix television shows. But they'll find success with when they buy Batman or whatever. I don't know. I have no clue. Let's jump into the rapid fire section of today's headlines in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen. I think that there is too much to talk about, honestly. There's a lot happening in the news, so I'm just going to jump into the rapid fire section of the headlines. Enough to keep your media diet healthy. But folks, the first one, Trump declares December 24th and 26th federal holidays. President Trump signed an executive order making Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas official federal holidays, giving many federal employees a 5-day weekend this week and affecting government office closures nationwide. Shit. So I hope you didn't have to take care of anything at a government office in the next 2 days. Imagine you were looking to apply for something. Damn. I mean, Social Security and federal offices are impacted also by the new holiday schedule. With December 24th, a new holiday, Social Security office closures and adjusted in-person service schedules are now affecting beneficiaries, though electronic payments are expected to go out on time. That's good enough for them. Active shooter situation kills trooper and suspect in Wilmington, Delaware. Not good. A state trooper and an active shooter were killed in a confrontation at a Department of Motor Vehicles in a facility in Wilmington, triggering law enforcement investigations and local alerts. Best of luck to Delaware. Global LNG markets shift as Russia tops China import rankings. Russian liquefied natural gas, LNG, shipments to China surged massively in November, overtaking Australia as China's largest supplier despite U.S. sanctions on Russian energy exports. Nice. Good for, well, not nice for us, but good for them. Speaking of China, their stock trading has hit historic records, man. Mainland China equity markets tops 40 trillion yuan and in an annual trading value for the first time, reflecting intense market activity in going into year's end. Good for them. India's ISRO launches largest commercial satellite. I mean, we're not launching satellites except for Elon, so somebody's got to do it. They successfully launched their heaviest ever commercial satellite, the Bluebird Block 2, into orbit using the LVM-3 launcher, marking key commercial missions for New Space India and AST Space Mobile. Interesting. Major political alliance in Mumbai ahead of elections. In India, two major political factions led by Uddhav and Raj Thackeray formed a historic electoral alliance for the upcoming Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation BMC polls. Wow, that went better than I thought it would. After 2 decades apart. Good for them. We love unity, especially around the holidays. Violent unrest in Assam leaves multiple dead. God damn it. That's not the unity I want. Protests over land rights in Assam, Karbi Anglong district, turned violent, resulting in at least 2 deaths and dozens of injuries. Authorities imposed movement restrictions and suspended internet services. Fuck. They cut everybody off. If you fuck up, by the way, that's one thing you gotta love about America is we keep the internet no matter what. If you fuck up in other countries, they cut your ass off. They're like, no internet for everybody, we're going down. NSW enacts sweeping security and protest laws post-Bondi terror attack. Not Pam Bondi, Bondi Beach, Australia's New South Wales government passed controversial legislation expanding police power to ban protests after terror incidents and tightened gun laws in the aftermath of the Bondi Beach shooting, drawing heated political debate. I mean, the Aussies, they love a lot, but they didn't love their guns enough to not do the buyback program. And finally, our last headline we'll get into before our main story, our last story before Christmas Eve. And ladies and gentlemen, then you are free and you can get ready for the holidays and get ready to do whatever it is you may do. Like I said, if you're Christian, get ready to party. And if you're Jewish, get ready for some good-ass Chinese food. The U.S.-Middle East tensions flare with fresh military exchanges. Damn. In ongoing Middle East conflict, Lebanese officials denied Israeli claims about the soldier's death near Sidon amid renewed airstrike exchanges, highlighting persistent regional volatility. I mean, there's never nothing going down in the Middle East. There hasn't been peace there since, well, never mind. Whatever. It's biblical levels, you know what I mean? It's been around for the longest time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our third story except it's not our third story. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to give you a Christmas present, and that Christmas present is the For Your Consideration for this year. This year's Christmas special, man. This year's Christmas special, we got you a For You Consideration. Unwrap it, take the bow off, you know what I mean? Save the bow, but you can do what you want with the wrapping paper. And you know what I mean? The title of this For Your Consideration, Merry Christmas, people. Let's enjoy the season and remember where we're at. That's all I have to say. 2025. I know so many people who said this year was mid-tier. You know what I mean? They didn't even get halfway through the summer before they created the year of ick. Regardless of why, a lot of people that I knew kind of gave up on the year. Whether it was job loss, major property damage, storms, floods, biblical hurricanes. The Saudis are still Arabian, you know what I mean? Shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em. Roll 'em in a circle of Saudis and watch me break 'em with a 9. 9-11, 9-11, 9 even backdoor little Joe. I picked up a cash flow, then we played Bones and I'm yelling dominoes. Plus nobody I know got killed in South Central LA. Today was a good day. Regardless, let's be honest. If whoever your congresswoman or congressman had sex with and then made disappear, regardless of who's cooking the ham or the crack this Christmas, let's just gather in our lovely homes with the people who kind of look like us. Kind of weird how family works like that, right? I don't know about you guys, but this guy, this secular, is ready to celebrate the solstice like it's Norway Yule in the 4th century. I love it. I don't give a shit. My Lutheran baptism possesses my spirit around this time of year. My 1% Sephardi disappears, except for when I see rice on Passover. I refuse to be a lonely Jew on Christmas. It is still the festival of light because the Benjamin I got this year is bright like a Christmas tree. The Pac-Man Santa cookies flavor glows like a goddamn downtown. Smoking dope, it's like a Sherm high. Brothers think they learn to fly, but they burn, motherfucker, you deserve to die. I'm gonna trip so hard on this on my grandma's place. It's gonna be great. And in case you haven't figured out the lesson for this For Your Consideration, it's this season, don't let anyone get you down on how you celebrate the holiday. I'm Christly in my own ways this year. Part of it is nailing myself to the cross that is the couch. I'll be saying prayers to be coming back from the gnarly high that I trigger. When you inevitably get a look from your aunt, your cousin, or potentially your own children or parent, all you gotta do is flash them the jolly smile. They'll understand if they have a beer or an iPad in the other hand. White elephant. No, not the party that Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting now that she's been exiled like Jon Snow. The party that makes your family the nastiest on the sweetest holiday. This year, bring something that you really, really don't want to lose. Why not be the one who brings the new iPod? Very Michael Scott of you. Someone is going to have to be the one at Christmas at dinner to go, hey, so what did everybody think of that one guy? What's his name? Oh yeah, Charlie Kirk. That'll be you. This show knights you to be thee. Folks, it's Christmas Eve. Watch NORAD. Keep your eye on the big man. It's our responsibility to make sure that he isn't hit with a surface-to-air missile by the Golden Dome, thanks to the new administration. There will be no Christmas in the Gaza Strip, but let's be honest, what Christian cares? And honestly cares, not Facebook cares. Folks, I know that I'm having my fun, but I want to leave you all with the words of Judy Garland's character from Meet Me in St. Louis. Because, much like her, I'm an exasperated but perky substance-addled Minnesotan trying to make his way in entertainment right now. Trying to fill a crowd with some hope for the future in this topsy-turvy, always shifting, kind of melancholic world. And I feel her vision and her, kind of spin on these old words are more relevant and worthy of remembering, especially in the age that we're in now. So, without further ado, I will read you these parting words. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It may be your last. Next year, we may all be living in the past. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Pop that champagne cork. Next year, we may all be living in New York. No good times like the olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us no more. But at least we all will be together, if the Lord allows. From now on, we'll all have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Thank you so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. This has been your Brain on Air. I have been your host, Ollie Vogt Larson. Have a Merry Christmas, and bye-bye.